evident that the UK and everybody in the family does not want Meghan coming back ever.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle facing criticism as members of the Invictus Games Foundation reveal a growing frustration with the royal couple.
Pressure on Prince Harry to apologize to Prince William in order to get the royal peace talks back on track.
William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles.
Brothers surrounding Prince Harry and Prince William, and what this change in senior roles for Harry and Meghan means for that particular relationship.
Oh, honey, grab your teacups because the palace walls are shaking with whispers of the most explosive royal purge in modern history. Forget the petty feuds, forget the scandals you thought were big. This is next level. Word from behind the velvet curtains of Buckingham Palace is that Prince William himself is plotting a devastating double strike that could reshape the monarchy forever. And who's in his crosshairs? None other than the two biggest royal headaches of the century, Prince Harry and Prince Andrew. Yes, you heard that right. The whispers say William has been quietly moving the chess pieces, preparing to strip both of their titles in one brutal parliamentary blow. Can you even imagine? Two disgraced princes, gone in one fell swoop. Palace insiders are calling this not just bold, but downright historic. And William? He's not just acting like the heir anymore. He's acting like the king already.
Edward Fortescue, who's a former major, as you mentioned, came out lambasting the couple. And I get it. Here's what he said.
And listen, this isn't just idle gossip anymore. It's happening. Royal watchers are buzzing, palace staff are whispering, and government insiders say William has been in cahoots with politicians for months, laying the groundwork for what some are already calling the most ruthless royal cleanup since the abdication crisis of 1936. And the strategy? Genius. Cold. Calculated. William knows that stripping Harry alone would make him look like a bitter, vengeful brother. But by dragging Andrew into the mix, he flips the narrative. Suddenly, it's not about punishing Harry, it's about protecting the crown. The future king has turned this into an institutional purge, not a family feud. Word on the street is that William has been studying the law, consulting constitutional experts, rallying MPs from both parties, and making the case that both men are ticking time bombs for the monarchy. And guess what? The consensus is clear. Neither Harry nor Andrew can stay.
A Californian former cable actress pathetically attempting to upstage a centuries-old institution that Princes Andrew and Harry accepted acts with restraint and dignity.
Royal insiders are whispering that this is the moment when William has stepped out of his father's shadow and shown the world who really runs the show. King Charles might still be torn about his beloved youngest son, but William? He's cold, methodical, and ready to do what his father can't, cut the dead weight. For William, this isn't personal anymore, it's survival. And if you thought Harry had a shot at reconciliation, think again. His silly little please forgive me stories in People magazine, they look pathetic now. He thought he was playing chess, but William, he's been playing three-dimensional warfare. And the real kicker? This is just the opening move. William's been manipulating public opinion like a pro, making sure that by the time this bombshell drops, it won't just be accepted, it'll be celebrated.
He said the wounded veterans of Invictus are done, utterly and irrevocably done with Harry and his wife. They've seen war, they've faced death, they've dragged their broken bodies through fire and blood, and now they are expected to play supporting roles in the grotesque theater of two narcissists desperate for applause.
Now here's where the genius becomes crystal clear. William has been using Andrew as the perfect cover story. Think about it. Andrew's disastrous connection to Jeffrey Epstein has stained the family name globally. Harry, on the other hand, has been hurling accusations of racism and betrayal at the very heart of the monarchy. Different scandals, same problem. Both men are threats to the crown's credibility. So William packages them together. Boom. Problem solved. It's no longer about punishing Harry out of spite. It's about cleaning house, restoring integrity, and protecting the monarchy's future. Palace insiders say William has been shockingly shrewd, presenting both men as existential threats in his briefings to officials. And let's be real, he's not wrong. Andrew's disgrace dragged the monarchy through the mud, while Harry and Meghan's endless whining about racism shredded its moral authority. William's basically saying neither wound can heal until both of these men are stripped clean of their royal status. Behind closed doors, even his closest advisors are stunned by his political instincts. William gets something his father never has, that when the institution is bleeding, you can't patch it with family loyalty. You have to cut the wound out completely.
2,000 members of the Invictus Games have quit because they're very upset about feeling kind of used by the couple for, again, good PR.
And William hasn't just studied his own family history, he's looked at Europe too. Palace sources say he's been analyzing how other monarchies survived their scandals, and the answer was always the same: sacrifice the weak links, save the crown. That's why his plan has been working so effectively. He's reframed the whole thing, not as a family drama, but as a constitutional necessity. And Westminster is eating it up. MPs who would normally back away from meddling in royal matters are suddenly lining up to support William's push, because he's made it about integrity, not vendettas. And don't even think the recent Telegraph leaks about Andrew's future were accidents. Oh no, darling, they were deliberate. William's fingerprints are all over it. He's been slowly conditioning the public, spoon-feeding them the idea of stripping Andrew's titles until it became almost normal. And once Andrew's out of the way, Harry's next. Word from Hollywood even suggests that Harry's American backers are starting to see the writing on the wall. William isn't just trimming titles, he's rewriting what it means to be royal in the 21st century. And Harry, with all his Netflix deals and ghost-written memoirs, never saw the trap closing around him. And let me tell you, the real sting? It's not the politics. It's the brutal ultimatum William has set for his brother. The kind of demand so savage it leaves even seasoned royal watchers speechless.
There's some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time. There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s.
Now, brace yourself, because this is where William's strategy turns from ruthless to downright savage. Sources close to the Prince of Wales say his position is crystal clear. Harry must publicly apologize. Not just to him, oh no. He must bow down and apologize to Catherine, King Charles, and the entire royal family before a single word of reconciliation can even be considered. But here's the wicked twist. William knows Harry will never do it. It's the perfect trap. Harry still clings to this fantasy that the family owes Meghan an apology for alleged racism and mistreatment. Meanwhile, William demands an acknowledgement for the destruction Harry himself caused. Through the Oprah interview, the Netflix docuseries, and the most unforgivable of all, the memoir Spare. Insiders whisper that William sees Spare as the ultimate betrayal. Harry crossed a line that can never be uncrossed, printing Catherine's private text messages for the whole world to devour. To William, that wasn't just betrayal, it was a declaration of war. And here's the kicker. William's ultimatum isn't even really about the apology. It's about exposing Harry's refusal to take responsibility. Every day Harry refuses to apologize, it only proves William's point that his brother has chosen California celebrity life over family loyalty. Palace sources say William has been quietly documenting this defiance, building an ironclad case for permanent exile.
These revelations, after a major People magazine cover commemorating 28 years since the death of Princess Diana.
And don't be fooled into thinking this is just anger talking. Royal watchers say William has moved past fury into something far more chilling: cold, methodical determination. His mission isn't to repair the relationship. It's to ensure Harry can never again weaponize private family moments for profit. And let's not forget Harry's pathetic People magazine stunt. Industry insiders suggest it was his last desperate attempt at middle ground, trying to scrub Meghan's name from the narrative while still clawing at reconciliation. But William saw right through it. To him, it was pure manipulation. Harry wanting the benefits of forgiveness without paying the price of accountability. Reports are swirling that William has told close confidants he expects never to speak to Harry again, ever. That's not grief, that's strategy. For William, Harry isn't a brother anymore, he's a security risk. And when William says security risk, he means it in the most chilling way possible.
She was after William first, apparently, before he got married.
Well, let's not act like that whole trip to England wasn't to actually find a British husband. She was just very lucky to have literally lucked out and be set up through a mutual friend.
Here's William's brutal logic. Andrew's ties to Epstein and Harry's betrayal might be different poisons, but they both contaminate the same well of public trust. William has been hammering the point that the monarchy has two choices: cut them loose completely or let the entire institution slowly bleed to death from 1,000 scandals. Polling data backs him up. Focus groups reveal the public is sick to death of both Andrew's disgrace and Harry and Meghan's endless soap opera. The appetite for royal drama is gone. People don't want endless dysfunction, they want decisive action. And William, he sees this moment like a master strategist. He spotted a unique political window where both men can be removed with minimal resistance. Government insiders say that by removing Harry and Andrew together, William creates political cover. MPs who would never vote to single one out suddenly find it easier to support a broader reform that wipes the slate clean. And here's the delicious twist. William actually wants Harry to lash out afterward. He's practically daring him to do interviews, cry victim, and rage against the machine. Because every bitter outburst will only prove William right. Every tantrum Harry throws becomes fresh evidence that stripping him was the only option.
How are Prince William and his wife Kate Middleton responding?
They're done. They're done. William doesn't even want to hear Harry's name anymore. He's just kind of like, don't bring him up. We're good.
Now, if you thought this couldn't get juicier, think again. The real shocker? Andrew himself has agreed to cooperate. Yes, the Duke of York, once the family's most stubborn liability, is apparently ready to sacrifice himself for the crown. Palace whispers say Andrew has privately agreed to let his titles go, framing it not as punishment but as a noble choice to ease the burden on Charles and William. For a man whose Epstein connections humiliated the monarchy and tainted Queen Elizabeth's final years, this is staggering. Insiders claim Andrew sees this as his last shot at redemption, a chance to fall on his sword and finally stop being the family embarrassment. They say he's even agreed to a choreographed exit that paints him as loyal to the crown until the bitter end. And here's the kicker. Andrew's cooperation makes William's entire strategy politically bulletproof. By willingly surrendering, Andrew transforms what could look like vindictive punishment into an act of duty before pride. It makes the double strike unstoppable.
Royal author Phil Dampier said, Meghan saw marrying Harry as a stepping stone to new fame and fortune, and I think that's what initially Prince William was concerned about, and that's why they fell out.
Sources suggest Andrew will frame his departure as a personal choice, full of gratitude for the privilege of serving the Queen, and aimed at giving Charles and William space to modernize the monarchy. And the reaction inside the palace? Pure shock. Even family members who wrote him off as a lost cause are whispering about newfound respect. And here's the contrast that William has weaponized perfectly. Andrew, disgraced and humiliated, still willing to bow out gracefully for the monarchy's survival. And Harry, clinging to victimhood, demanding apologies, and refusing to budge. This sets the stage for William's real target all along, Harry. Andrew's sacrifice isn't just redemption, it's camouflage. It makes Harry's refusal to accept responsibility look even more pathetic. And let's not forget Harry's recent PR disaster with People magazine. Palace sources say his desperate attempt to rewrite history, pretending Meghan wasn't the cause of his feud with William, was a catastrophic miscalculation. Royal insiders call it cowardice. Everyone knows Meghan's role, everyone. Harry's refusal to admit it just makes him look weak and still under her thumb. Even in Hollywood, whispers say the People magazine stunt was mocked behind closed doors. Insiders celebrated, calling it proof of Harry's delusion. Instead of controlling the narrative, he exposed his desperation for the world to see. And here's where the story takes a chilling turn: security. Insiders reveal that William has put together a dossier so damning it makes reconciliation impossible. We're talking about security breaches, privacy violations, and the unforgivable sin of Harry monetizing private family moments for cash. From his book Spare to the Netflix circus, Harry has spilled secrets like water. And for William, that's not just betrayal, it's dangerous. Protection officers have reportedly warned that whenever Harry's around, privacy evaporates. Every chat, every glance, every text becomes future content for California profit. Palace whispers say William sees Harry as a walking intelligence leak. And the most horrifying part? His children. William has allegedly said he can't risk George, Charlotte, or Louis being turned into characters in Harry's next Netflix show or memoir meltdown. Imagine your child's private moment twisted into tabloid fodder, William's worst nightmare. The final straw? Harry exposing Catherine's private messages in Spare. For William, that was unforgivable. Proof that Harry would burn anyone's privacy for a paycheck. And Catherine? Oh, she's done. Sources say the future queen has told William point blank she never wants to see Harry again, especially after he exploited her cancer battle in private communications to win public sympathy. For her, Harry isn't just a lost brother-in-law, he's a threat. William has reportedly sworn that Harry will never again be allowed unsupervised near his family. Not after he chose Netflix millions over family privacy, not after he turned their lives into content. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about palace walls. American opinion has turned too. Remember when Harry and Meghan were the golden exiles, darlings of Hollywood, cheered as brave truth tellers? That glow has vanished. Across the US, public patience has snapped. snapped. Americans are tired of the Sussexes' endless complaints. Instead of courageous underdogs, they're now seen as privileged millionaires whining from their Montecito mansion. Hollywood sources whisper that the Sussex brand is so toxic, even liberal celebs refuse to be photographed with them. The backlash is brutal. Focus groups show Americans see them not as victims, but as privileged complainers. Parents who once sympathized with Meghan's struggles now see through her polished act, pointing out her absence from her own kids while chasing Netflix deals. Even their die-hard defenders are abandoning ship. Reports say American commentators are now openly calling for William to strip the titles, insisting it's the only way to shut down the Sussex circus. Word is spreading through media circles that defending the Sussexes is no longer a progressive statement, it's a liability. And perhaps the most devastating twist, American mothers, once Meghan's core support base, have turned on her. They see her prioritizing brand building over family, and they're not buying the protective mom routine anymore. This U.S. backlash has given William the perfect excuse to accelerate his nuclear option. With the tide turned in America, even the Sussexes' Hollywood fortress can't protect them. But what about King Charles? Here's where the generational clash explodes. Charles, ever the emotional father, remains paralyzed at the thought of banishing his youngest son. He's clinging to hope, to sentiment, to compromise. William, he's moved beyond emotion, cold, strategic, ruthless. Palace insiders say William has been steadily boxing his father into a corner, creating situations where Charles has no choice but to act. The future king's plan? Make inaction costlier than action. Sources whisper that William has been handing Charles polling data, security reports, and brutal political analysis, all screaming the same truth. Harry and Andrew must go. And while Charles struggles with his heart, William plays the bad cop, preparing to take the blame so his father can save face. Insiders reveal William has even offered to publicly shoulder the responsibility, letting Charles appear reluctant and sorrowful. But don't be fooled, this isn't kindness, it's strategy. William is building unstoppable momentum, positioning himself as the monarch in waiting who prioritizes survival over sentiment. And let's not ignore the pettiness, because it's there. Palace whispers point out Meghan launching her alcohol brand on Princess Diana's birthday, the same Diana who died in a drunk driving crash. For William, that was the final insult, and he won't forgive it. So here we are, a father caught in emotion, a son steeled by calculation, the monarchy's survival hanging in the balance. And William? He's already thinking beyond Harry and Andrew. Palace insiders say the future king's long-term vision is chilling. Titles will no longer be untouchable entitlements. They'll be privileges, earned and kept only through loyalty to the crown. No more endless tolerance for scandals. No more hiding behind family ties. Reports say William has anticipated every Sussex move. The victim interviews, the racism allegations, the sob stories about exile. He's prepared counter-narratives for each one. He's flipped their playbook on its head, and make no mistake, if Harry loses his titles, he loses everything. No more royal leverage, no more constitutional weight, just another Hollywood has-been fighting for screen time among the crowd of forgotten celebrities. Internationally, whispers say other royal houses are watching William closely, eyeing his playbook for their own problematic relatives. He may be setting a new global precedent. When royals go rogue, titles go too. And here's the ultimate irony. Harry built his victim brand by attacking the monarchy, but those very attacks have handed William the ammunition to exile him forever. Every Netflix confession, every memoir rant, every interview tear, proof that Harry is a permanent liability. So here we are, at the edge of history. William's nuclear option, a double-strike title removal, is no longer unthinkable. It's inevitable. Harry and Andrew, two disgraced princes, both stripped down, both erased from the heart of the monarchy, one willingly, one defiantly. William is rewriting royal survival for a new age. He's proving that the monarchy can and will cut its own flesh to save its crown. So tell me, do you think William is right? Should the monarchy come before family? Or should Charles find one last way to bring Harry back? Drop your thoughts below. Hit like if you want more of these royal truth bombs, and subscribe. Because trust me, this war behind palace walls, it's only getting started. It's only getting started. It's only